Johnson, hold it down. Yo, 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 yo. Here we got the doctor in the place. Hear the rhythm when the doctor come through. Korean roots and he know what to do. Professor the building educator true. Black health is a vision and he coming for you. Dr. Johnson, raise it up, raise it up. Knowledge in his hands and he ain't give it up. The doctor is here, let the rhythm come through. The people are calling and he coming for you. From the islands to the glass to the ladies way. Black health in his bloodline, Carrigan soul. Oh, black health in his bloodline, Carrigan soul. The doctor in the building and he coming in for Dr. Johnson.
Okay, everybody, welcome on in. Ooh, something you could use. I see you. David, I see you. Let me post it to my story. I just got on. Miss Crystal, I see you. Welcome on in. Miss Crystal, send me a message. Check your message right, Miss Crystal. Check your message right now while you're in my live. Something you could use. I see you. We grabbing our daily heart me. I see you. Thank you so much. Okay, I see you, Crystal. Okay, let me stop barking at you, Crystal. Crystal, I hope you had a great day. Thank you so much for joining Office Hours with Dr. Johnson. I see you. And said, sign me up. Okay, don't say nothing else, please. I see you. Something you could use. I see you. Amara, I see you. Welcome on in. Okay. We talking about mental health today, so I gotta let's start this over. Today's gonna be very interesting. Today's the last day of June. My God, first of all, today has been a day, but June has been whooping me. June whooped me. Today whooped me, but June whooped me. Okay, HerDivineAlchemy, I see you. June whooped me. Today whooped me. We're gonna have a great conversation today. Please reveal your community gift. You can find it by tapping. Okay, tapping what? You know, you guys, I've been on here for a year, and it's like y'all think I know how to do all this stuff. Hold on, let me start my song. Amara, I see you. Welcome on in. Welcome to Office Hours with Dr. Johnson. We are grabbing our daily heart meet. We are liking the live. Once we get to 6K likes, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm not gonna hold y'all for too long today. We're just gonna briefly go over our trending topic in healthcare, and then we're gonna go get into our conversation. I ain't got no professor tips for y'all today. We're just gonna keep it brief, keep it straight to the point, just like how I like it, just like how y'all like it. Tap that shit. I wanna see. Tap what? I don't know. That's all the message it gave me. Okay, hold on. Community gift. Okay. What am I tapping? We both type. Her Divine. Dr. Michelle, I see you. Thank you so much for liking the live. I see you, Dr. Michelle. Dr. Michelle, send me a message. I'm trying to work on something. Dr. Michelle, send me a message. I've been telling you to look all week. Hold on. Ash, I see you. Welcome on in. Okay, community gift. Let me find the community gift while you guys are liking up the live. I see you. Ash, good evening. Thank you so much for being here. Amara, thank you so much for liking the live. I see you. Okay. Ash, thank you so much for the community gifts. Whoever knows, this is general. How do I look up my personalized community gift? I see you, Crystal. Thank you so much. I see you. HerDivineAlchemy. You hear my song, HerDivineAlchemy? I know you hear my song. Something you could use. I see you. Yo, my people make me songs. So every time I get into my office hours, I can't believe it. Okay, we good. Posh History Professor, I sent you a video earlier on where it came across my FYP. Thank you so much for grabbing your daily heart me. And I thought about you. Did you see that video I sent you? Who were they talking about? They were talking about that guy who was Passe Blanc. Was it Hoover? Who were they talking about? But Posh, I thought about you when I saw that video. Anything history related, I always think about you. I'll be thinking about my folks on here when I'm scrolling through my FYP. You know, he always has to remind us he's from the islands. Yeah, Hoover, yes. I heard Divine. I sent it to you too. Posh, did you see that video? I would love to hear your take on it. Okay, 6K likes. We getting to it. We almost there. Let me cut my music up. Hold on. And start my song over. HerDivineAlchemy made me this song. Yeah, Hoover. It was Hoover. It was definitely Hoover. So for those of you just joining on in, welcome to Office Hours with Dr. Johnson. We are grabbing a daily heartbeat. We are liking the live. Once we hit 6K likes, we're going to go ahead and get started on our trending topic in healthcare. Then we're going to get into our conversation. Today's conversation is going to be different. Today's conversation is going to be a collaborative conversation about an important topic. The General, welcome on in. I see you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for supporting. I see you. Okay, Sharita 40, I see you.
Hear the rhythm when the doctor come through, Korean roots and they know what to do. Prophecy the building educator true. Black health is a vision and they coming for you. Dr. Johnson, raise it up, raise it up. Knowledge in his hands and he ain't give it up. The doctor is here, let the rhythm come through. The people are calling and they coming for you. From the others to the class to the ladies way. Black health in his bloodline, Korean.
The General, I see you. Thank you so much for being here. I see you. We're about to get to 6K likes. Okay, we at 6K likes. Welcome to Office Hours with Dr. Johnson. Y'all, just a brief disclaimer. Today has been a day. Dr. Johnson is drained, but I still got to show up. I got to continue to show up. I got to continue to be great, so that's why I'm here. We're just going to do our trending topic in healthcare today. We're going to briefly go through it, and then we have our collaborative conversation that I find that it's important for us to wrap up this month with one of my guests up on here. Big tune. Who do I need to? Oh, shoot. Dr. Michelle Henry, Dr. Michelle, the therapist, said that was a big tune. Who does she gotta tap? Dr. Michelle, you see, when you build your community and the people them just love you and people them just support what you got going on and people them see your vision, it will come. Because Jono, I did not ask three friends on here made me a song. I did not ask them for a song. They surprised me, and I'm so grateful. Each office hours, I alternate them. So, Dr. Michelle Henry, the people that will really, they will, your songs will come. You gotta go live more, and your songs will come. Okay, let's jump right into it. So, like I said, we're gonna briefly discuss my trending topic in healthcare. We all know that June is an important month. So many different awarenesses, but what I wanted to highlight is men's health. Okay, men's mental health awareness for the month of June. Okay, it's important. We have to discuss it, especially our black and brown men, especially our men of color. Men of color. Okay, moderator, I see you. Thank you so much, L. Men's mental health. I have two quick facts. I have two quick resources that I want to share with you guys. Okay. The first one is, you guys know, it's always real news, real information, straight facts, supported information. I see you, Miss Krista, with the Black Lives Matter. I see you, Miss Krista, with the men's mental health. I see you. So I got my second screen that I'm looking away, and I'm bringing you guys real information, real news, okay? So two quick resources that I wanted to share with you guys. Mental health conditions rarely start with a crisis. Once again, I repeat, mental health conditions rarely start with a crisis. Here's what to look for. There are early signs that we should be looking for, okay? The early signs are often subtle and easy to dismiss. Man, I'm just tired. I ain't getting enough sleep last night. Bro, leave me alone. I'm not hungry. Bro, I'm not meeting you at the gym today. I'm finna quit this job. Damn, did I just all talk about myself? Whoa. Early signs to think of, okay? Early signs to think of. Subtle and easy to dismiss. Recognizing changes in yourself or someone you care about can be the first step to getting support, okay? So if right now we're talking about men's health, men's mental health. So if you know a man out there who has these symptoms or, is not really acting normal, check in on them. And when you check in on them, you don't have to be judgmental. It gotta be from a place of concern. It has to be from a place of, endearment, okay? Withdrawal from friends, family, and activities you used to enjoy. Please reveal our community. Get you guys. I don't know how to do the reveal the community gift by tapping it. Y'all gonna throw me off, and I'm on a roll right now. Taylor, I see you. Welcome on in. We're talking about men's mental health. Eve Rose, I see you. Welcome on in. Miss Krista, I see you holding. Miss Krista, I'm a Nika Grace. I see. Is this Nika Grace? Welcome on in. I see you. Damn, y'all all sending me that message. What does that mean? What do I do? Okay, lock in, lock in. Mental health conditions rarely start with a crisis. That's what we're talking about. Here's what to look for: early signs. Okay, one of them that we can look for: withdrawal from friends, family, and activities you used to enjoy. Okay? Trouble concentrating, thinking, remembering, or making decisions. Okay? I'm doing a pause. I want it to sink in. We're talking about men's mental health, men's health overall, but this can apply to women as well too. We all go through our own mental health struggles. Okay? Neglect of personal care. Have you stopped keeping up with your hygiene? Boy, y'all better brush your teeth and wash up underneath you. Dr. Michelle Henry, I see you. Damn, Dr. Michelle Henry walked in right when I said brush your teeth and wash up underneath you. I am too ashamed. Dr. Michelle Henry, right now, we're my training topic in healthcare today. I'm wrapping up men's mental health, Men's Health Awareness Month, and I'm just briefly going over some mental health conditions that I'm discussing how mental health conditions rarely start with a crisis, and they oftentimes start with they oftentimes can be dismissed or not even brought up, ignored. Okay. So right when you came in, I was saying neglect of personal care. Have you stopped keeping up with your hygiene? Okay. Restless, irritable, agitated, or anxious movements or behaviors. Okay. Dr. T, I see you. We are doing my training topic in healthcare. I'm breezing through it. Wrapping up Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Next one, anger, rage, craving revenge. Are you overreacting to criticism? Let me tell y'all something about the craving revenge. That craving revenge can get you, okay? But scripture say vengeance is mine. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. I know you want to do them how they did you. But scripture say vengeance is mine. Okay? Next up, feelings of hopelessness or worthlessness, poor self-esteem or guilt. Miss Krista, I see you holding me down. Dr. Michelle, I see you. Dr. T, I see you. Okay? One more time. Mental health conditions rarely start with a crisis. Okay? Withdraw from friends and family and activities. Trouble concentrating, thinking, remembering, or making decisions. Neglect of personal care. Have you stopped keeping up with your hygiene? Restless, irritable, agitated, anxious movements or behaviors. Okay? Anger, rage, craving revenge. Woy. Feelings of hopelessness or worthlessness, poor self-esteem or guilt. If you know somebody who is experiencing these symptoms, reach out to them. If you are personally experiencing these symptoms, speak to someone. Okay? Get the help you need because you deserve it. Okay? The second resource that I want to share with you guys, we breezing through this today because I'm not going to hold y'all for too long today. And I'm hungry. Dr. T, I see you. Thank you so much. 5 evidence-based actions for better mental health. For those of you joining on in, we are discussing men's mental health, wrapping up the month of June. Dr. T, I see you want me to be a cowboy so bad. I see you, Dr. T. I see you. 5 evidence-based actions for better mental health. Okay? Seek support early. You guys, seek, Dr. T, chill. Seek support early. Dr. Style, I see you. We're going over my training topic in healthcare. We're wrapping up Men's Health Awareness Month, Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. I'm sharing 2 resources, okay? Miss Crystal, I got to put you as one of my moderators. I see you, Miss Crystal. You holding me down. 5 evidence-based actions for better mental health. We have to ensure that we seek support early. I see you, Dr. Style. Mental health conditions are treatable. Once again, mental health conditions are treatable. Can somebody drop the word treatable in the chat for me, please? Earlier intervention consistently produces better outcomes than waiting for crisis. We can't sit back and say, oh, I'm going to thug this out. We can't sit back and say, oh, I'm going to sleep it off. Wait. We can't sit back and say, I'm gonna just go through the motion. Yes, we have to go through the motions, but don't go through the motions and every day feeling like you want to jump. Let's continue. Talk openly. You see what we're doing? Dr. Henry, don't take me there, Dr. Henry. El Meek, don't take me there. I see you. You see what we're doing right now? We're talking openly. We are talking openly. Okay? Dr. Stahl, I see you. Stigma remains the greatest global barrier to help seeking. Every honest conversation reduces it. The conversation I'm having with you guys right now is important. The conversation I'm having with you guys right now is important. It's important that we talk openly. We be talking openly when they cheating on you or cheating on us. We be talking openly when we begging for a little extra cash. Why we can't talk openly when our mental health is in disarray? Dr. Sal, I see you. Thank you so much. Why we can't talk openly when we are not sure if we want to get on medication or not? Dr. Henry, I see you. Thank you so much. Let's continue. Know your resources before you need them. Woi! Know your resources before you need them. Whether a GP, general practitioner, general psychiatrist, community mental health service, helpline, or trusted peer, okay? Know your mental health resources within your community. And if you don't feel like going to go sit on somebody's couch, you could do it virtual. There's growth therapy, there's talkiatry, there's Alma. I can continue. Coach Jen, I see you. Welcome on in. Next up, for leaders and policymakers, this is big. For leaders and policymakers, invest in community-based mental health services. Woi! Can I have one person just drop the Woi chat in the sticker, please? I said that backwards. You see how I'm tired? Can somebody drop the Woi sticker in the chat? Invest in community-based mental health services, integrate mental health into primary care, and close the treatment gap systematically. That's a big one for Elmo. Woi, I see you, Coach Jen. Woi, Aaron, I see you. Woi. That's a big one, but it's needed. I don't want to stay on this topic too much because in my conversation that I'm about to have next, we're gonna dive more into it. Her Divine Alchemy. For leaders and policymakers, we have to invest in community-based mental health services, integrate mental health into primary care, and close the treatment gap systematically. Next up, for health systems, the bigger picture, health systems, address the social determinants, poverty, housing, discrimination, isolation that drive mental ill health in the first place. When you don't have no money, that would drive you mad. When your bank account is in the negatives, that can put you in anaphylactic shock. I'm being dramatic. I'm trying to, give a little comedic relief. I don't mean anaphylactic shock, but you know what I mean. When you ain't got no money, you just... What else? When you don't have nowhere to live, I beg, that can push you over the edge. Okay? What else they said? Discrimination. When you know them people don't like you because you black or brown. You want to what? Seek revenge. You want to tear them. I beg. So, to wrap up, 5 evidence-based actions for better mental health. Seek support early. Miss Crystal said basic human needs. We got to seek support early. We got to talk openly. We have to know our resources before you need them. We have to address leadership and policymakers, and we also have to address health systems overall. And with addressing health systems overall, it will address the social determinants of health, and mental health is included in that. Okay, y'all see where we're going. Dr. T, I'm not gonna take it where you took it yesterday because I feel it coming, but I didn't eat no dinner yet. And Dr. T, like you entered into the room and that spirit of teaching and just taking it somewhere just came over me. So I'm trying to hold it down because I gotta bring up my guest. But Dr. T is contagious. It is contagious. And I think that contagious is called passion and drive. Let me bring up my questions. I'll see you guys in the chat. Her Divine Alchemy, I see you.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I hear you. I can't see you.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
you?
no, I haven't turned it on. I just want to make sure you can hear me first.
Okay.
Okay, what filter am I doing right now? Because I'm going to need filter help to be this. Okay, there we go. Today has been one of those days. It has absolutely been one of those days. But
It
I
has
was like,
definitely been one of those
Dr.
days.
Johnson, I can't let Dr. Johnson down. So we gonna do this. We gonna do this.
Oh,
We gonna be honest. We gonna be straight to the point. All gas, no
okay.
brakes.
All gas, no breaks. Today has
You ready to
definitely
go?
been a day. Can you hear me? I'm ready to go. Can you hear me? Okay, good. So everybody, oh, Dr. Berry, I see you. Welcome on in. So today, first and foremost, Her Divine Alchemy, thank you so much for the song that you made me. I appreciate you. You know, it's a song I have added into my rotation. So I appreciate your efforts for creating me that song and just, taking the time to show your love and support for, what I got going on here. So once again, thank you so much. I told you in private, but
Absolutely.
I want to make sure I tell you in public as well too. But Her Divine Alchemy sent me a message, and she said, "Full transparency, okay? I could tell them how this conversation came about."
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. So Her Divine Alchemist sent me a message. Oh no, I think we were in a live. We were having a conversation, and she said, Dr. J, let me know if you want you and I to have a collaborative conversation to wrap up Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And I said that would be amazing. Okay, black man to black woman, black woman to black man. We are going to have a conversation on a couple different topics as it relates to mental health overall, because some of them, the questions you see, they can relate. You can provide your own perspective as well too. So to wrap up the month of June for Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, we're going to have a collaborative conversation on some topics that need to be discussed. What did I say earlier on in my trending topic in healthcare? One of the options was to talk openly. So right now, Her Divine Alchemy and I, we are fixing to talk openly. Okay, you ready, Her Divine?
Absolutely. Let's go. Let's do
Sephacor, I
this.
see you. Welcome on in, Dr. Berry. I see you. Thank you so much. So first and foremost, I just wanted we're just going to jump right into it. What does mental health and wellness look like overall? For me, ladies first. Her Divine Alchemy. I'll ask you
Oh
the
no,
question.
you can go.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, I could
you
go.
were saying get your thought out. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, okay. You see why she's here? Y'all see why she's here? She want the black man to get his thought out. I appreciate you, Queen. What does mental health and wellness look like for me? For one word, right now, peace. Peace. Peace in my spirit, peace in my mind, peace overall, just peace. Okay? And when I feel as though I don't have that peace, something's gotta be altered. I either gotta pop a pill. Can we be transparent? Are we being transparent?
You know, when you talk to me, I don't do filters.
Okay.
I don't do the oppression of lipids, and I don't do palatable. Say what is in your heart, say what is in your mind, and say what's going to release people.
Yes, ma'am. So when that piece is not there, I either gotta pop a pill. Hello? I either have to take some rest. I either have to tell some folks no, because I do get pulled in many different directions, and just get some rest. Sometimes I'm always on go, 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 like today. And when I don't feel that peace, I just need to say no, pop a pill maybe, and get some rest. Okay. But overall, when my mental wellness, what's the question? When my mental health and my wellness is up to par and feeling good, I'm at peace. I wake up every day just crip walking like Snoop Dogg. Hey, you, your turn. What does overall mental health and wellness look like for you?
So for me, and I would say this is for a lot of Black women, mental health is safety. It is physical safety, it is
Mm-hmm.
psychological safety, it is spiritual safety. So the adage that a lot of Black men like to say is that they want Black women to be their peace, and they don't recognize that Black men have to be our safety. Like we have to feel safe, and we have to feel
Pause.
safe with you if you
Just
want us to be your peace.
just pause for a minute.
Okay.
Damn, that's how you taking me. Damn,
When I told you all gas, no brakes, I don't know what you thought I meant. Like,
damn.
let's go.
Whoa, hold on. My friend in the chat, Dr. Michelle, said rest. Never heard of it. However, that's something I'm doing my best to prioritize. Dr. Michelle Henry, I mean Dr. Michelle, the therapist. You need to. I know you do some work too. I know you run in circles around that clinic. Please get your rest. Her Divine Alchemy. I'm gonna let you continue taking it away. So yes, you are right. Peace and safety, safety,
Yes.
safety.
Because as Black women, particularly Black women in the US, we don't have areas where we really truly feel safe. We have to
Right.
cultivate those spaces, and those spaces easily get co-opted by other people who are not black women. And so we have to fight for that. And what I don't think is recognized is that we get stuck in this fight mode. And it's not even flight. We get stuck in fight. We're constantly fighting to be seen, to be protected, to be heard, to feel safe all the time. And
Right.
that takes not just a physical toll, but also a mental toll where we don't feel like we have any parts of our lives where we can truly be safe. So when it
Right.
comes to mental health, it is making sure that you are cultivating a life that you actually feel safe to live in. And that includes your own body. And at this point in time where we are fighting once again for body autonomy as
Hmm.
women, and then as black women on top of that, with that intersectionality and that massage noir comes into play, we still have the tendency not to feel safe. So our mental health is constantly being battled for every single day, a lot of times as black women. And we have to figure out how to circumnavigate a world that does not feel like we have a right to feel safe anywhere in our lives.
Oh, I see you, Crystal. I'm sorry you I saw you had to experience that. Damn. Miss Sharita, I want to say something to you because I want to ask you something because you just said something. Um, Cultivating a space, transparency moment, and you and I were always discussing, creating these spaces, cultivating these spaces, and the importance of representation. Are you ever tired of having to cultivate a space for us? Because sometimes it can take a toll. Sometimes we just want to show up in a place and be like, I'm here and there should be no issue that I'm here. Are you tired of always having to cultivate a space? Damn.
No. What I'm
Okay.
tired of is skin folk that ain't kinfolk coming into them spaces we cultivating and fucking it up. That's what I'm tired for.
Ooh,
I'm not
ooh.
tired of cultivating spaces that are safe for us. Absolutely not. Because I believe, one, every season needs its particular space. So every space can't go over every season of your life. I'm fine with cultivating those spaces, but I'm tired of our skin folk coming in there fucking that shit up, and we can't have it because the pick me's and the snow bunny lovers and why can't you be submissive and all this other patriarchy, internalized racism and all this stuff comes into play because you unhealed, and then you want to make sure everybody around you is unhealed, and you don't know how to get yourself out the muck because you don't want to take accountability. You're a grown person and you need to heal yourself, but you want everybody else to be unhappy. No, fuck you. Get out of the space.
Mm,
I don't do the I'm very protective of the spaces I cultivate. If you come in
right.
fucking it up, you are gone.
Hmm.
I am Here's the thing. The benefit of the doubt only hurts the person that you get that is given the benefit. Like, if
I'm
I'm giving
learning
you the
that.
benefit of the doubt, I'm going to be the only person hurting that. I'm not giving you the benefit of the doubt. You fuck up, bye, try it again with somebody else. You can't try it again with me.
Right. Right. It's crazy that you mentioned that because I'm still learning the just the whole fact of giving people the benefit of the doubt. My sister had to pull me aside one day and was like, "Boy, you the only one that's feeling it. They're sleeping nice and cozy at night, and you're still up here overthinking and ruminating." You know?
How can you be the savior of this person? That's the only When you actually look at what giving the person the benefit of doubt of, that means that you're trying to be their savior. You're trying to save
Right.
them from whatever accountability that needs to come to them from whatever action that they did. Stop trying to save people. That is not our responsibility. That is not our job. Let people have the consequences they need to have. That's why
Right.
I'm like, don't be out here in the streets. Let this country get the consequence it needs. Let the Senate get the consequences need. Let all these people get their consequences. We stay at home and we take care of ourselves. We cultivate our mental health. We don't need to save nobody. We've
Right.
tried and we've had our asses handed to us for doing that for centuries. So guess what? We ain't doing that shit no more.
Right. Right. Vibe Wellness Woman, I see you. Welcome on in. Thank you so much for being here. What did Miss Crystal said you giving out too much. Ooh, they said we have to have a villain sticker in here. Okay, 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 okay,
I'll share on
okay,
my villa sticker.
okay, 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 okay. I knew this conversation was going to go in different directions, and I'm glad. And I'm Can I tell you guys something? Let me tell you guys, everybody here in the chat. When I first met Her Divine Alchemy, the Her Divine Alchemy Soda, I see you. Welcome on in. Thank you so much. I knew she ran a strict program, and I love a woman who runs a strict program. I love an assertive woman and who runs a strict program, who don't take no mess, who don't give no second chances. You only have one chance to play with her, and after that, you'll never hear from her again. And I know that is her divine alchemy. I love a strict program. Let's continue. We got to continue. We got to continue. Casey, I see you. Welcome on in. Welcome to Office Hours with Dr. Johnson. We are wrapping up Men's Mental Health Awareness Month with a collaborative conversation with my good friends, Her Divine Alchemy. Oh, this Crystal back up. Wait. Oh, Miss Crystal, I see you. Miss Soda, I see you. Let's continue. Let's continue. Her Divine Alchemy. Was there a time when you realized your mental health wasn't up to par, and how was it managed? You can share what you feel comfortable sharing.
Oh, I'm going to share just a very, very, very transparent thing. My mental health went way out the window, and I was ready to not be on this physical plane because I was
Mm,
exhausted and tired and not supported. And I
mhm,
remember telling people in my own way, I said, I am drowning and no one can hear me scream. And nobody understood what that meant. And when I said I need to start over somewhere else that is not here, I need help. I need to be somewhere where I can get myself back to myself because I am not. I have been pushing and pushing and pushing. And I have pushed myself not only mentally, but I have pushed myself physically where I just collapsed. And I think
mm,
I slept for like 16 hours because my body just stopped because I had kept going. I'm like, I have to figure it out. I have to make it work. And everything that I was doing was not working. Everything that I had set up fell apart. And then when I asked for help, which I historically do not do because I'm hyper independent and I've had
mhm.
people who have not come through when they said they would. I had people look at me like, well, why don't you have it together? Why do you always need help all the time? Why is your life all together? Why? And in that moment I was just like, I don't understand. Like, I have multiple degrees. I have written and published books. I have had a company. I have worked with Fortune 500 companies globally. Like, I've had all this. Why is everything that I'm trying to do falling apart? And people are looking at me like I am just somebody who is asking for a handout, who does not want to do the work, doesn't take accountability, and doesn't do anything. And I didn't know what to do or how to do it because
Mhm.
one, I didn't have access to mental health because I didn't have the finances for it. And I
Right.
can't just go to anyone and have this conversation. I needed to have a black woman to talk to. And a
Right.
lot of things that people don't understand or recognize when it comes to mental health, especially for people that are looking for people with a similar lived experience outside of cis white heterosexual men, it is very hard, one, to find those practitioners, and then two,
Right.
if you have insurance, even if you have Medicaid, to have them in network, because a lot of these insurance companies say, hey, we already got two black mental health people in network, that's enough, we don't need more. And for people who are licensed to get insurance, like to get on insurance plans to be in network, is such an uphill battle that a lot of people
Yes.
don't understand. They're like, oh, I'm trying to find people. Why can't I find people? Or why don't you
Right.
take insurance? It's because a lot of times the insurance companies won't let them get on. They're like, no, we got two in this 50-mile radius. That is enough. If you go out like 100 miles, we'll add you to the list then. And it is so it's unfair, one, to the practitioner, but it's also unfair to the community is trying to support. And so you have people who want to support and they're like, okay, well, I don't take insurance. You got to pay out of pocket. If your money is non-existent or tight, how can you go from there? Like, what do you do? And it's just so much that you just go on for and go on for, and you're just like, I don't know how to do this. And then I just had to just stop, and I was just like, I'm just not going to do anything for a while. Like, I didn't do anything. Like, I wasn't applying for anything. I wasn't talking to anybody. I was just like, I just asked my ancestors. I'm like, I'm not calling on the old deity that has shamed me for being who I am. I'm like, I need my ancestors. I'm like, y'all gonna have to fix something. Unless y'all want me to be an ancestor right now, y'all gotta come through. And that
Mm,
was the only thing. And it was a moment by moment thing that got me back to who I was. But it wasn't
mhm.
something that I could have just gotten myself out of. No. If you can get
Right.
yourself out of mental deficits, then you will.
Mm,
But when you can't, you have to have support from somewhere. And so I just kept trudging along and trudging along. And then slowly I got out of it. But could I've gotten out of it faster with mental health? Absolutely. But I
right.
just could not financially afford someone. And then the
Right.
people that were available, they weren't available because people finally found them and they're like, I can't take on any more clients. And so there's that it because you only got two in the entire county, and then all the black people find those two, and then they just there's only two people. They can only take so much because, again, as a mental health practitioner, you need mental health too because you can't be taking on all these people weight and not thinking about yourself. So it's a lot of dominoes that go into mental health, especially in the
Mm-hmm.
black community in the US, that make it so difficult to really be able to access it in a way that is not detrimental to you accessing it on either end, either the practitioner or the person that's looking for help.
Right. Right. Her Divine Alchemy, thank you so much for being transparent and sharing that. I appreciate you. That's why you are here. As you guys know, a thumbs up or a praying hands is me acknowledging you guys. I don't want to interrupt my guest as she's dropping gems, or a thumbs up or a praying hands is acknowledging you guys. Ms. Nike, I see you. Welcome on in. Ms. Crystal said access. We spoke about it. A social determinant of health. That's a big issue. That is a major issue. Vibe Wellness Woman, I see you. I don't know if I hailed you up, but I see you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for supporting. Her Divine, I do have a similar situation, okay? And I don't think I've shared this with my community on here, but you said you got the degrees, wasn't getting no jobs, applying, nothing, there was no motion. I've been there too. When I tell you guys I've been there, I don't think I've really dived into it. I'm the type of person, I actually enjoyed school. I enjoyed the whole process, you know? Call me an nerd, whatever. I liked being
I
in
loved it
school.
too.
It was doing the research, doing group. I enjoyed group work. Okay,
Oh
I
no,
enjoyed
that
this.
that part no. I'm sorry. I have to disagree with you respectfully on the group part, but the other research, yes.
Okay, so I enjoyed the whole process of school. Right. You see, after I graduated, I felt as though I lost a sense of like almost purpose. I'll use the word purpose. I would anxiously look at the clock for 11:59, but there was nothing due. Did you hear what I said?
Hmm.
I would anxiously look at the clock at 11:59, but there was nothing due. And I would almost have like tisms like, oh my gosh, there's a discussion post. Oh my God. There was nothing due. For about a good 6 months after, I realized, damn, I have an issue. Damn, what do I do now? Damn, these jobs are not calling me back. Damn, my grandpa just died. Damn, I don't have a job. Damn, I'm going back home to Jamaica for 6 months. But before I go, let me go see somebody. Let me go sit on somebody's couch and get some medication. So while I'm down there, I can eat good and, be emotionally regulated.
Hmm.
Never shared that with y'all, but when I tell you guys I've been there, I know I've been there. Full transparency. No motion was coming in. Nothing was coming in. At one point, I was like, damn, I did all this school and ain't nothing coming in. Damn, am I the problem? Am I the issue? Mm-mm, mm-mm,
And I
mm-mm.
want to
So,
speak to that too.
mhm.
If you're done, sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah, yeah, go. Take it,
So
take it
the
over.
whole thing about education and black people, and this is not a slight at all, is that it has been ingrained in us to get our education, and we have, as an offshoot, intertwined our identity into educating or being educated and seeing our value
Mm,
through our education. And if we don't have the means to support ourselves after we did all of this education, then where is our value? Where's our
wow,
identity? And I
wow.
think that's also a subset of it, is that I done, because I asked myself, I'm like, I done spent all this goddamn money. I have all these fucking degrees. What the fuck? Like, what is wrong with me? And so it makes us internalize our value with an identity that we are supposed to have because we have these degrees. And it is not, it is still an offshoot of chattel slavery, where it was like, hey, we didn't have the option to get educated. Now it's like we have to get educated. Education is the only thing they cannot take from us. They cannot take our minds. They cannot take what we know. They can try to take everything else, but they cannot take what we know. That has been ingrained in me since I was a child. I don't know how to
Hmm.
not know that. So for me,
Hmm.
I love education and going to HBCU. If I could have skipped high school and went straight to an HBCU, I would have done that. I would gladly go back to to a HBCU for my PhD. I don't, if I do a PhD, it's going to be a HBCU. I don't care what anyone says. But that whole identity in our education or even our employment is something that we have to start to disconnect from, because in this whole applying for things, I know people have talked about it, but it does fuck up your mental capacity when you constantly get rejected. And I talked about,
Oh
like, I
my
had, and I
gosh.
had mentioned, like, to my aunt, I was like, I have applied for over 800 jobs and gotten
Mm,
3 interviews. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And then on top of that, finding out that these AI systems are, one, giving us auto rejections for being black, being a woman, being over, at this point, 30, have, like, because it can pull all that stuff from your resume. And
mm-hmm.
so it can scrape all that stuff from your resume. And if it doesn't scrape from your resume, if you have your LinkedIn on there, it's going to go to your LinkedIn and scrape it from there.
Right.
It messes with your psyche, because you're like, I don't understand why I'm seeing people get jobs. I'm seeing companies say they got jobs, and I'm applying and I'm changing everything according to what people say, and it's still not happening. So you think it is a you thing, where it's like, what is wrong with me? And so you internalize that and you take the rejection as something that's personal. And it's kind of hard not to take it personal until you recognize that it is a system that is fucked up and set up for you to fail. So then you're like, well, what do I have to do? And they're like, well, it's a numbers game. Keep doing it. But that is not fair. And I know, like, life is
Mm,
not fair, but it's not fair to tell someone that you got to at least apply for 1,000 jobs to get 3 interviews or 4 interviews. Like, that is not right to do to human beings. But
right.
that's where we are, and that's where we live at. And then you wonder why people are out here just like, fucking, I ain't doing shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm. 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 You're right. You're right. For those of you just joining on in, welcome to Office Hours with Dr. Johnson. Today we're doing things a little bit differently today. I've brought back one of my seasoned guests, Miss Her Divine Alchemy, for us to have a collaborative conversation on wrapping up Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Okay. But before I continue, I do want to give a shout out to Vibe Wellness Woman, because we're speaking about education, and she recently shared that she's about to be Dr. Vibe Wellness Woman. Okay. So when you hear Her Divine Alchemy and I talking about this topic, don't think that we're saying that, don't go get that education. Y'all better still go
Mm-mm.
get that education. Get that education. It's needed. But we're just going to give you the transparency of the experience overall and the aftermath and the $99,000 in student debts, loans.
Yeah. We're just saying, like, just be aware of the intertwining of your identity and that degree and those letters
Right.
behind your name. Like, just be cognizant of it. Not don't do it, but just be cognizant of it, because
Right.
if something happens and you have all that and you're still not able to obtain what you thought you should by it, that can be detrimental to your mental health. So that's all that we're saying. And I used to have student loans, but I gave them over to Biden. I don't know where they are now. It's not my responsibility. I don't know. So they exist in somebody's plane, not mine. I don't know.
Okay.
Never,
Okay.
never, never knew anything about it. Don't touch it. I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
And
Okay.
Vibe Wellness Woman,
Yeah,
Sharita.
I have to make a correction. Yeah, because you see the correction here. So just pause on everything, because the big doc said that she's actually now PhD. I'm proud of it and did it for a reason of my own, not anyone else's. So a couple round of applause in the chat for Vibe Wellness
Yes.
Woman, because now
I
she
was
is
about to say that
doctor.
because I was in her
Yeah.
live. Vi Wellness
Okay.
Woman. I was in your live with my other account because I was
Hmm.
watching you on one account, and then I had my little clicker on. So Sharita, that is my other account. So you know me. I know you were saying, "Hey, nice to meet you," but that was me. But yes,
Hmm.
because she was on and she was saying, she was like, "I'm not used to that, and I haven't said doctor yet because I don't necessarily need all that, pop and circles. Like, I
True.
did it for me, so it wasn't
True.
something I did for other people." And I was just like, I don't care why you did it. It is not. I don't care why you did it. It's not my. It's not for me to know. But when I
Right.
know you got a doctorate, I'm gonna call you doctor until you tell me not to. That's all
Hmm.
I'm saying. That's all.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna, cause I know the effort it took for you to
Mm.
get there. I know the sacrifices it took for you to get there. And I know for the most part, especially if you are a black person, what your focus was for a collective good. So I'm gonna call you that doctor. I don't care if you ain't got your robe yet. Was it approved? Did you pass?
Right.
Okay, you're a doctor now. I don't care.
Right. 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 We got to move right along, because I knew our conversation was going to pivot into different areas. So we're going to move right along. Okay, Her Divine Alchemy.
Hmm.
As a black woman, a woman of color, how do you support the mental health for Black men around you, and vice versa? I'll answer as well too, but I'll give you the floor. As a Black woman, how do you support the mental health of the men that you could look at? Gotta preface that, because you know you. I'm not saying that I'm not. I don't want you to answer in a male centered way. Never that. Okay. The Black men that you care about, how do you support their mental health? Sorry, I should have worded it like that, because forgive me.
No, it's fine. I understand what how you were asking me,
Okay.
so I got it.
Okay. Okay.
Um, for me, it's always telling them that if they have not been in therapy, that they need to get into therapy. And I don't really care what the background of their life, especially if you are a Black man in the United States, like you need therapy. And
Hmm.
a lot of people don't recognize, like, well, not everybody has been harassed by the police. I'm like, it's not about that. I said, there is something called epigenetics. There is something called
Mm.
epigenetics. And a
Hmm.
lot of times we don't realize that the epigenetics that we have from our historical DNA have given us a lot of triggers in our lives.
Right.
And a lot of triggers we don't recognize as triggers, but it is a trigger. And so for me, I think people have this misnomer that therapy is there to make you uncomfortable, to make you uncomfortable. It's there to take your money and it's there to give you answers. And that's not what therapy is for. Therapy is there to help guide you to the answer yourself. It's not to tell
Hmm.
you, like, of course is there to support you and say, yeah, we don't want you to harm yourself and things like that, but it's not there to tell you what to do. It's to give you a third party, pretty much disconnected viewpoint for you to start to think about a lot of things in your life, like how you react to things, how you interpret things, how you give certain credence to things, how you allow certain relationships in your life. And I think a lot of Black men don't recognize, one, that they benefit from a lot of the oppression that is
Mm.
laid down at the feet and on the neck of Black women. And so they go through life thinking like, hey, Black woman, it is your responsibility to do X, Y, and Z for me because you are a Black woman and I'm just going to have your back if you do. No, your responsibility as a Black man is to help topple patriarchy. But since you benefit from it, your rationalization of not doing that is some of the things that harm me. But you can't see that because when I tell you, you don't like listening to Black women. So for me, I have family members, male family members, that are very misogynistic. And I know when I
Mm.
say something, they don't listen to me. But if a man says it, it makes sense. And my thing is that why is it that when this white man in particular said the same thing I told you, then you come back and say, oh, well, they said it, so now it makes sense. Because you have this habit of not listening to Black women and you think Black women only have a certain position in life, and it is always our labor and never our leadership. And so for me, I'm like, if you haven't gone through therapy and talked about some of those things, I will always keep you at arm's length. I always will. And it's like, I can love you
Hmm.
from afar, but can I be safe with you and trust you? Absolutely not.
Hmm.
So, and I'm very honest about that. And I don't give benefit of the doubt. And I have cut men off and they've been very confused about it and they've been very angry about it. And they have come in my DMs off of some post that I made that had absolutely nothing to do with them. Like, oh, so that's how you feel about it? Blah, blah, blah. Again, this is a trigger for you that has nothing to do with me because you're unhealed and you're unwilling to actually look at the stuff that I mentioned to you because you don't listen to Black women. So
Hmm.
for me, it's like if I'm telling you something, I'm not telling you to control you. I'm telling you for your benefit because
Right.
9 times out of 10, that's what Black women do. We want to benefit you. We want to benefit our community. And we're not always telling you stuff to tear you down. We're telling you stuff to actually do self reflection. But a lot of people have so much unhealed trauma that the thought of it is so painful. They're like, I don't want to feel that pain, so I'm not going to do it.
Right. Right. Thank you so much for sharing that. And for vice versa, I'm gonna just share one thing. We're answering the question, as a Black woman, how do you support the mental health for Black men that you care about around you? And for me, the Black women that I care and love about around me, Crystal said it. I pride myself on being an active listener. It's key. Even if you don't like it, if you don't agree, it's important to actively listen. It's important to be an effective communicator. And I'm just not talking about just romantic relations. I'm talking about family relationships. I'm talking about friendships. Actively listen. Listen to the people around you. Practice being an effective communicator. Actively, and I'm repeating it for a reason. Actively listen. Don't listen to talk back. Listen to learn. Okay. Heard of anything else you want to add to that before we move on? Or we good?
Yeah, just one other thing I want to say about that. I had to
I
learn the
know.
lesson
I
the
know.
hard way is that I
Hmm.
can't save black men. I have
Oh.
tried. I have tried.
Mm.
I have tried. And
And
I
guess
have,
what? From black man to black woman, I don't want that to be. I don't want that to be in your ministry. You don't have to. You don't have to.
right. But it's that's the whole thing about patriarchy though. It's like we have been raised to do that. Like, and then of course we have this whole thing because I have militant black people in my family who like I get the militant part, but the patriarchy is still dominant in that
Hmm.
black
I'm
militant
sure.
part. And I'm like, I love us, and yes, I'm black, 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 but I can't
Hmm.
subscribe to the patriarchy where you again expect us to save you, but then you turn around and like, well, I can only save the people that I know that I respect. If not, then I can't do anything for you. And I think that's where that disconnect lies. And then I'm like, well, black men, I'm not going to keep saving you from your hypertension. I'm not going to keep making doctor's appointments for you as though you were a child because you don't want to go to the doctor because you have those type of issues. I'm not going to keep telling you you need to go see a mental health doctor because you probably are on the spectrum and have ADHD because I'm looking at what you're doing right now. It is like, and then also, I'm not going to not have my child in my own house when this particular person wants to come over because I can't leave them alone with you. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to send you to jail. Things like that. Like, we have to start having these. We are no longer going to keep bringing that individual around our children and telling our children they need to cover up from head to toe and we can't leave them alone in a room with a certain relative. We're not going to keep having that relative come around. We're going to tell that relative, if I see you again, I'm calling the police. Like, we gotta start being accountable to the things in our community and stop trying to push them under the rug because of the generalized blackness that we have to save. Patriarchy is going above that because typically it is the males of the family that are doing these things. Typically, I'm not saying all, but typically,
Hmm.
and we are protecting them from the repercussions they should be experiencing.
Do you see why I said earlier on, talk openly? Because we were going to dive into it more. It's important to talk openly. Why are we brushing things under a rug? Why are we brushing things under a rug to continue the generational trauma? Let's continue because we could take it a couple of places and we not. Her divine. We could take it a couple of places and we not. Let's continue. I see you guys in the chat. Miss Crystal said, "Listen to understand, not to respond."
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, Aaron Turner. I see you like in the live. Let's briefly get into some stigmas. Okay, stigmas in men's mental health. Why can't we not be okay sometimes? I'll just jump right into it. We always got to be strong. We always got to be the fixers. And with you always being strong and with you always being the fixer, nigga, boy, what the hell is wrong with you? You straight, you fine. Ain't nothing wrong with you. Swallow it. Toughen up. What do you mean you don't feel like showing up today? What do you mean you can't go do X, Y, and Z and then still come pick me up from the airport and then still go grade 37 research papers and then go cook some dinner? What do you mean you're drained? What do you mean your nervous system is not regulated? Nigga, have a drink. Why are you complaining? Thank you. Mm. I took it there. I
I'm
took it
gonna take it.
there.
I'm gonna take it a step further into hell.
Okay.
All that you said plus what Crystal put in the chat is just mental buck breaking for black
Mm.
men. That's all it is. And if you don't know what butt breaking is, I invite you to actually do some research. But all of you, all of that, what you just said, especially like what you crying for, you don't cry, you don't do that, you man up to a child. It is mental butt breaking
Hmm.
because it is trying to break that young man, that child, that man's spirit in order to be a patriarchal and white supremacist version of a man. And that's not how we were designed or how we were created. We were created to be a part of a matriarchal society. We were created to actually care and have and express emotions. But we live in a society where there are certain men that think that washing the crack of their ass is gay.
Okay. I've been seeing that.
I don't understand that. Like, you won't wash the crack. You will have the funk of 10 hellhounds coming from your undercarriage because you refuse to wash because you think it's gay. Like, I don't understand it. And the men that I know that I have relationships with, and I don't mean like romantic, but just like with friends, family, they're like, that doesn't make sense to me because why? That's gross. You not washing your butt. But that's the mental bug breaking that we've been doing to our young black boys. And so they grow up emotionally unregulated and they don't have the tools to emotionally regulate. So what do? They have triggers and then they have these outlashes against whatever because they have not been able to understand their emotions are important, their emotions are valid, and their emotions are not weakness. And then we've also raised men to be tied to the value that they have to not just society, but also women is predicated on their ability to provide something, not in their inherent just existence has value. But if you can't do X, Y, and Z, you're not a man. If you can't buy X, Y, and Z, you're not a man. Where is that coming from? Of course, it's coming from capitalism. Of course, it's coming from Eurocentric patriarchy. Of course. Right. But if that is all they know and that is all they see because they've given too many of these motherfucking podcasts and all these red pills are running rampant because they're just unhealed, trigger happy. I want to make everybody in my life miserable. And I don't actually like women and I want to be with a man, but I don't want to let my homeboys know I want to be with a man. But my homeboys actually want to be with men too.
Wait.
So the whole circle.
Wait. Can I have that sticker in the chat, please? Wait. I don't like that red pill. I don't like that red pill. And that is very dangerous rhetoric. I don't like that red pill. Wait. My God. I don't even know what to do right now.
I'm just saying, it's this vicious cycle of just unhealed, emotionally unregulated, unloved. And at this point, I'm like, y'all not willing to change. So your grandmama should have really swallowed your mama. And you have a lineage of very poor decisions that have gone through your bloodline. So at some point, somebody has to make a good choice. Somebody. Either stop the bloodline or fix it. But your grandmammy at this point just made the poor decision of not swallowing your mama.
Becoming Beth, welcome on in. We are.
She said, "Oop, I came in for that."
I know. Becoming Beth, welcome on in. Welcome to Office Hours with Dr. Johnson. Not sure if this is your first time here. She just blew me away. We are having a collaborative conversation. We're wrapping up Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and we are having a collaborative conversation on a couple different topics as it relates to mental health for women and men of color. That's what you came in on. Her Divine Alchemy. Can I have two people drop the subject matter expert stickers in the chat, please? That's why she's here. That's definitely why she's here. I want to continue, okay? But I want to stay on stigmas because.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, you see, everybody know 7 p.m. I got office hours with Dr. Johnson and I'm getting calls. Hey, pardon me, you guys. I'm getting see what I was talking about earlier on? I'm getting calls.
Yeah.
Her Divine Alchemy, right? How have stigmas affected your perspective in addressing your mental health and discussing it with others? I'll give you the floor first.
Stigma related to, I'm going to start just naming out some stigmas. Stigmas related to Black women, strong Black women. Stigma related to Black women, angry Black women. Stigma related to Black women, self-sacrificing all the time. Stigma related to Black men, always got to be a provider. Stigma related to Black men, you got to man up. Stigma related to Black men, you can never be vulnerable. Stigma to Black men, you can never have solidarity and safe spaces with other men and you can be vulnerable. Stigma with Black men, everything is homophobic. Stigma with Black women, you are always competing with other women, no matter who they are. All of these stigmas are placed in our way based off of the whole made up social norm around gender and what gender is supposed to be, what's supposed to do, and what it's supposed to look like. That in of itself causes so many issues with people that cause mental health issues because we are subscribing to this ideology that we have to fit into this certain ideal of what we are supposed to be, never individually created but collectively connected. We're always disconnected from the collective because we have to unilaterally be in this uniform of individuality, but it's not individuality. It's this uniform box that we have to be in. And when we dare get out of it, we think that something is wrong with us. I have had this idea that this divergence around neurodivergency, ADHD, and autism, now that it's being widely acknowledged and somewhat accepted, is that it is just the evolution of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And what used to work for the lower evolution of us does not work anymore. And instead of us looking at it as an evolution, we look at it as everybody has a disability. Instead of saying, you know what, maybe not everybody has a disability. Maybe we need to be fixing how we exist as human beings in this form because we've elevated to something else that we don't quite understand because we don't really put the stock in the mental understanding of how, one, our brain works. We still don't really understand how the human brain works for the most part. Like, we don't really study it like that. Why? Because where's the money in that? Everything comes back to capitalism. And then, so we're trying to sit up here and navigate, how am I supposed to look? How am I supposed to be? And when I come and say, find a way to be your authentic self, and the best way to do that is be okay with being the villain in somebody else's story so you can be the hero on your own. I am saying that from the standpoint of that box that they want you to be in. When you decide that you don't want to exist like that, be okay with them having an issue with you. Be okay with them having an issue with them not having access to you, with you saying no, with you deciding that who you are and how you choose to live your life is more important than somebody else's version of you. Be okay with choosing to be the author of your story versus giving over pen and paper to somebody else, because that is going to make them comfortable with your existence. It's not going to make you comfortable with yours. Understanding that you have the right, the responsibility, and the authority to live your life unapologetically out loud, and that starts with you loving yourself with reckless abandon. That is the part of the mental stigma that people don't want to recognize. People always take reckless abandon to be some type of destructive thing, but when you love yourself with reckless abandon, when you recognize that no one in this life or the next will ever love you as greatly as you love yourself, you choose differently, you act differently, and you see yourself differently. And that allows you to keep your mental health and well-being in the forefront. And you no longer accepting a life that is not just well lived, but a life that has kept you in captivity against your
Mm-hmm.
will for you to be who you are.
Mm-hmm. 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 Do you guys see why she's here? Do you guys see why it's important for us to have these conversations? Avi Noel, I see you. Becoming Beth, thank you so much for supporting the live. I see you. Dr. T said, being okay with saying no. Miss Crystal said, if I hit a nerve, I'm saying what needs to be heard. Exactly. Coach Rhonda, welcome on in. Coach Rhonda, I'm having a collaborative conversation with my friend here, Her Divine Alchemy. We're wrapping up Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And just on a discussing a variety of topics. We're halfway through. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your support. But to answer that question, to my perspective, how have stigmas affected your perspective in addressing mental health and discussing it with others? I'm going to continue being transparent. And this is just recently. This is with friends. This is the response, right? You got all them degrees. You got all them jobs. You smart. Know, you always know what to do. What do you mean you have mental health issues? What do you mean that you not feeling yourself? What the couple cuss words in between? Do you mean you got issues going on? What do you mean? So after a couple of those responses, to answer that question, I see who I could have safe conversations with as it relates to mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm when And recently, this one of them was just a couple weeks ago. I didn't know how to respond in that moment. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do I mean? What do you mean? Just because I got what I got or the degrees, the jobs, I could still something could still be off the ronkers once or twice a day or once or twice a month. Hello, you just showed me I can't have these conversations with you. That's what I mean. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So how have the stigmas affected my perspective in addressing it? I know who I could have those conversations with overall. I know who will understand I'm not feeling 100 right now. So the conversation you want to have with me, and you want to unload, I'm not there yet. Can we reconvene in 2 weeks? Can we reconvene next Monday? I don't have the emotional bandwidth for this. I would always support you, but right now I'm not there myself. Can we have a rain check? I know I know who can understand that language, that jargon, because not everybody can. Because other folks will take it as disrespect. What do you mean? You bandwidth? Her divine alchemy. We gotta continue. Okay. Anything
Yeah.
else you want to add?
I just
I
want to
know you
add
got
to
some.
that, like
I know.
I do to my friends if I need
Mm,
to vent or need to talk. I always ask them now, like, "Hey, do you have the emotional bandwidth for me?" And if they say no, I don't take it personally. I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's fine." And they're like, "Hey, I could talk to you after work, or I could talk to you in 2 days. I just don't have it right now, or girl, I'm going through it too. I can't help you. It's
right.
fine. I don't think we should trauma dump on our friends. So I do always ask and I respect that. So I understand with you again, kind of circling back to when I first said about mental health, what do I see it as? Safety. You have to
Mm-hmm.
feel safe, and you can't feel
Mm-hmm.
safe around certain people. You just know,
Mm.
okay, you're not the type of person I can have deep conversations with. It's always going to be surface level, which is fine. But
True.
then you
Yeah.
know your place with them. And they
Right.
know, and they probably will never know their place with you, but you know your place with them. And I think
Right.
that's very healthy and important.
Exactly. Exactly. That was that. Yeah. Well said. Exactly. Let's talk about our jobs and these raggedy ass jobs and these workplaces that we all go and collect a check from. Can I also share something too before we get into the question? I don't know if it's just me, maybe it's just a weird thought that just came to me. When jobs are like, we're like a family here, a family, a family, a family. We're
Run,
like, I
run,
don't like that.
run, run into the hills.
And it's
Run.
like, yes, you can work at a place for, umpteen amount of years and, you can build like,
Don't
platonic
trust
work
them.
relationships. But it's like I have friends and family outside of this. Those jobs, they're like, we're a family here. We're all so close knit.
That means I need to have a recorder on me all times. I need to have a body
Why?
cam. If I'm working somewhere that says we're a family, I need to wear a body cam at all times. I need to record everything. I'm not saying recording by hand. I mean I need to physically record everybody.
Let's jump into the question, okay? I see. Yeah, something you could use. Family, exactly. Sephacor, I see you. Thank you so much. Workplace stress and the toll it takes on our mental and overall health. These jobs will drain us. These jobs will put you into shock. The joke I said earlier on, anaphylactic shock. Yeah, these jobs will give you back pain, stress, sleepless nights. If you drop dead tomorrow, you're just a number. Your job requisition will be on in 2 days, maybe one if HR is fast. Hello, Her Divine, do you agree?
Or none, and they just make everybody else do your job. Cause why?
Hey,
Yeah. So I agree. I talk about this all the time, and let me state this because a black man said what I always say, and black women were like, "Oh my God, I never heard that." The imposter syndrome is not true for black people. It is not. It
mm,
is not real.
mm,
But what these systems, especially these corporations, will do is that they will have you doubting who you are and what you know, because they put you in a constant rotation and vicious cycle of proving yourself at all times. They want your labor, but not your leadership. They want to macro aggress you to death because they think, oh, it's just a microaggression. That's not what their intent was. Here's the thing: a microaggression is only micro if it's one. It is always many every single day, and you have to figure out how to circumnavigate that. When I
Right.
started working, I always tried to make myself a palatable version of myself to make people comfortable with my existence, and it was never fucking enough. No matter what I did, they moved the fucking goalpost. No matter what I said, it was always a problem. If I didn't show up as their fucking entertainment monkey, oh, the team's morale is down because you're not making people smile today. Why didn't you smile? It is not my fucking job responsibility to be everybody's emotional goat. But that is the responsibility. I did not come into this job to be a mammy or a magical unicorn. But as soon as I get the job, they look at me like, oh, you're a magical unicorn. Oh, wait, you stood up for yourself. No, you are a hag, and we're going to push you out of this position because you made us uncomfortable. Because why do you know things, black women? Why don't you know your fucking place? These companies will gaslight you within an inch of your life. I have gone out on FMLA on every fucking job I've been on because they have worked my last fucking nerve.
You hear what she said? Dropped in the chat. Know your place. Ain't that something? So
And I
when them,
have turned into perpetual line stepper now. I don't know my fucking place. I am the most uppity Negro. I am out here just being just all type of not knowing my place. I don't give a shit. There was a job that I legally cannot name because I signed an NDA. I got my money back for them firing me because I didn't know my place and told my white manager that, first of all, what you not gonna do is sit up here and drag my name through the mud and let me not have a career because a white man came in here and said he was uncomfortable with me interviewing him for a job he never got. So when I tell you, these people will try to play with your fucking emotion. They will try to make you think that you're the problem. Be the fucking problem. Go in there, get everything that you can from them, including the fucking pens and printer paper. Whatever the fuck you got to do to get your shit and get the fuck on. Use all your L&D money. Use all of your sick time. Use all of your pay. Use all of your FLM. Hey, use everything. Go into this. Have a meeting every fucking quarter with the CEO. Schedule that shit. Find out who can get you in his office and talk to him every fucking quarter. It doesn't matter. Don't tell nobody you doing that shit. Just schedule that shit. Why? Hey, I just want to talk to you and just see what's going on with you and how you have managed to be such a prolificist leader of this organization. And I just want to know how I can be better at who I am in this position and better at navigating my career by learning from you. Gaslight their ego so fucking hard that they come to that meeting every fucking quarter. And so when they fuck around and play in your face, next meeting you have with the CEO, it's like, I don't understand. I've implemented everything you've told me, and then you fucking cry. And I mean, you cry the whitest tears you've ever cried in your life. Do that shit and see if they don't stop fucking with you. Or if they do, guess what? The CEO can write you a nice little letter of recommendation when you move on. Stop playing these games with these people and go in there with the audacity of a white man and the tears of a white woman.
PD, I see you. Welcome on in. I'm having a collaborative, heated conversation with one of my friends here. Her Divine Alchemy. We're wrapping up Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're touching on some subjects. We're pivoting into different areas. As you can see, you hear what we're talking about: the stress, the emotional toll that our jobs will have on our mental health overall. It is draining. It is taxing. I see you. Thank you so much. Once again, when you see these jobs and they say, we are family, you better run like Usain Bolt. Okay? Her Divine Alchemy, I want to continue, okay? Because we both got dinner to go eat. Okay? PD, I see you. Thank you so much. How can employers better improve their approach in prioritizing employees' mental health? Ooh. Mm. Mm.
Providing more FSA and HSA money to
Right,
employees.
resources. Yeah, I was
Because,
trying to see how
yeah,
sorry,
because a
I was
lot of
trying to
time,
see how I wanted to respond to see if I wanted to post this recording online because you know how these jobs are.
well, this is my opinion. This is not the opinion of Dr. Johnson. So I am stating the
Uh-huh.
opinion of me and not Dr. Johnson. I say give more HSA and FSA money because a
Hmm.
lot of times your employer benefits, that means their insurance they provide, do not have the in network care that you require, because
Bingo.
again, the reduction of practitioners within these networks is so small, based off of whatever stupid criteria they have, and then everybody and their mama is trying to get to them, because again, these are people who can have these conversations with you, that have similar experience, that won't gaslight you as a practitioner. And so a lot of these people are out of pocket. So you're having to pay more out of pocket. So being able to have funds that you can use for out of pocket mental health experiences. And they're like, oh, we have
Right.
telehealth. These,
What? Zip
these,
doc? Zip doc.
I don't know what Trump University doctors that they have on here that are on there, but no, those are not the people we're trying to talk to. Not even a
Mm-hmm.
little bit. And
Mm-hmm.
so again, we go back to this vicious cycle of how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to afford this. And it's not a lot of times that their costs, their non-healthcare costs are just astronomical. No, it
Right.
typically, a lot of times these practitioners are on sliding scales, or they're at
Mm-hmm.
their base bottom rate for you because they want to support the community. But again, everything costs everything. And so you're trying to balance, like, I got to keep a roof on my head, I got to eat, and I got to do this. And so it still comes down to having the economics to do that. And mental health should not be an economics game. It shouldn't even be an accessibility game. It should be a everybody has access game. But yet and still, that's not the capitalist society we live in. So how do we do that? So again, it's just having the financial means to be able to get to the practitioners that can support you from that mental health aspect. And then for me, the whole clock in, clock out, I think is slavery. I'm going to say that having a lunch break where you gotta clock in and clock out of is slavery to me, because you're clocking me. I can take a 5 minute break to go pee, but I gotta hurry up. If I'm 6 minutes late, I'm getting docked or I'm getting in
Okay.
trouble. Is it it's so much. But we live in a society that wants to coddle, create, and support billion and trillionaires while everyone else suffers, because we're, again, going back to, hey, but at least we're not black. It goes back to racism. Like they'll let everybody suffer, including themselves. But hey, as long as the black people suffer, it's fine. I don't care if I'm suffering too. I don't care if me, mom, papa don't get their meds. It's fine. At least black people are suffering too, and that's the most important thing. So
I do want to add, thank you so much for that. I do want to add, when when employees can't pay their bills or not making enough, that takes a toll on your mental health overall. Okay? Y'all use context clues. When your employees cannot pay their bills or don't have enough to cover X, Y, and Z, that takes a toll on their mental health. Employers should be more conscious of the wages, the living standard currently of their employees. What's the cost of living in this area? What area do most of my employees live in? Is this salary enough? Then it opens up the question, do they care? Do they even care? That's taking it somewhere else. That's taking it somewhere
capitalism,
else.
capitalism,
Yeah.
capitalism does not care about you at all. And capitalism is going to capitalize with a capital C and a capital M.
Mm,
It does not care about you. It don't care about your housing insecurity. It don't care about your food insecurity. I wish people would stop saying, "Oh, well, we can't raise the minimum wage because how are these businesses going to survive?" If you cannot afford to pay your employees, you don't need to have them.
mm, mm.
You don't. And I'm not saying it because I want small businesses to go out of business, but if you cannot float, then I'm sorry, you gonna have to figure something else out. You gonna have to take out a loan. You gonna have to go to the SBA. You gonna have to mortgage. If this business is important to you, you gonna have to figure it out. But penalizing your employees by paying them pennies on the dollar or below what a living wage is, I think is not just fiscally irresponsible. It is ethically irresponsible. I
Right.
did not have employees for that exact reason, because I'm like, if I can't afford to pay you and pay myself, I'm not going to pay you nothing. Like I
Right.
won't have you, because
Right.
that I'm not trying to be here making somebody else's life miserable so that I can, run up my business, and you sitting up here struggling, and you like, well, I can't afford to come into work. So many people can't afford to go to work today. Cause how I gotta pay to get to work. I gotta pay to eat at work because I'm either buying groceries to bring in or I'm buying food when I'm there. And then I gotta pay to get home. And then I gotta pay for where I live. Like no one really understands working poor. And what they also don't
Ooh.
understand is that the actual amount of money that is poverty has moved up into over $100,000 a year because of inflation. We still think it's 20,000. No, 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 no. The the poverty line based off of inflation and based off of the cost of thing, I want to say right now is $120,000. That's poverty. People ain't making that. So where the hell are they? In hell? Yes, they're in hell. That's exactly where they are.
Miss Crystal, I see you in the chat. I see you. And them 5 bereavement days is definitely not enough. She should say I have to take FMLA. This country doesn't care that my mother passed away. 5 bereavement days is definitely not enough. They don't care that my mother passed and my uncle passed the day after. That's rough. That's rough. And all they want to offer you is 5 bereavement days. I want to jump down in the ground with them. What am I going to do with these 5 bereavement days? Just being transparent. Just being transparent. Okay.
How many days do you need to have just to even put the funeral together? That
My
by itself.
gosh.
I have been blessed and I was lucky. I actually did my mother's. I was her medical power of attorney when she got
Hmm.
diagnosed with cancer, and then I was the one that told them like, hey, at this point we're gonna do a DNR on her.
Hmm.
I was the one that had that right. My mother gave me that right because she knew me and she knew that I was the only one who could
Hmm.
compartmentalize whatever decision that needed to be made for her quality of life. And it
Hmm.
was something that I would be okay with carrying for the rest of my life.
Your life.
Not
Right.
everybody is set up like that, but I was, and
Right.
my mother knew that. So for me, I had to schedule my grief. And this is something that
Mm.
I learned with a bereavement and grief counselor is that you can schedule your grief. But I just happened to have one at the time. Not everybody has that. Not everybody has the capability of scheduling their grief. Not everybody can go to a grief counselor because every trauma is not the same. And sometimes you need people that specialize in a certain trauma you're going through. Having
Hmm.
to be able to go through that and understand how my grief was cyclical, but also that I could schedule time to fall apart and cry over it, which I
Right.
still do to this day because, again, grief is cyclical. It's not a straight line. You just don't necessarily get over it at some point. It does
Grief is
hit you in
cyclical.
waves.
Right.
But again, I took the time that I needed to schedule her service, and then I was like, hey, I'm not visiting the grave site, so I'm okay with the ashes to ashes, dust to dust. I had to get the okay from my grandmother, her sister, and then my sister to do that, and they were like, that's fine. And then I was like, guess what, we ain't doing no body viewing. Okay. Everybody was like, oh, we're not. But I was like, hey, you weren't in charge of this. I get that what you wanted is what you wanted, but you weren't in charge of this. This is my show. She's gone. She said, when I'm gone, I don't care what you do with my body. I don't care what you do. Do whatever you need to do to get through it. But again, it's like I'm not like everybody, so everybody can't go through that. And some people fall apart, and then of course it's like,
Right.
what we fighting over? We fighting over what is left in the bank account. We fighting over the house. We fighting over this. Somebody getting drunk at the service, cussing somebody out. All these family secrets coming out in the repast. It is so
Mm.
much to it. It is this whole. It's in and of itself the whole processing of the death, and then doing all the stuff for the funeral, for the repast, dealing with all these people you ain't seen and everybody's emotions and opinions about their life. And then they want to talk about stuff and you don't want to talk about it. Like it's a lot that you have to do and contend with, and then you got to go into somebody's job and smile. Get the fuck out of here.
Mm. Mm. Miss Crystal said black funerals are different. They definitely are. They definitely are. We gotta move along. We definitely have to move along. Her divine alchemy. I got three more topics for us to discuss. You've been doing great. I appreciate your time so much.
So
Okay.
have you.
Thank you
I
so
still I
much.
still need you to let loose a little more because I see you holding
This
back.
is
You holding
you
back. I
see.
know it's fine. I know it's
Yeah.
fine. Go
Hmm.
ahead.
So black men and taking medications for their mental health. I kind of opened it up and told y'all what I got going on, and I take the pill sometimes. Okay. Black men. I'm a health educator, so I have to make sure I approach
I'm
it
gonna ask you
and
that
discuss
question.
it.
I'm gonna ask you a question. So,
Okay.
black men and medication. What are your thoughts about it? And I want to include the cannabis conversation around that too, where the
I
self
see what you do.
medication. So, I would like your thoughts on black men and medication, including the self medication as it relates to those things around alcohol and cannabis.
Black men should take medication if it's needed. And if a black man is taking medication for his mental health, there's nothing wrong with him. I want to start there. There's nothing wrong with him. We all go through things at times. It's not a permanent thing. It's something to get you over that hump. It's something to get that imbalance, that chemical imbalance back in order. Mr. Brian, I see you. Welcome on in. The self-medicating thing, sometimes I'm 50-50 because y'all know I'm from Jamaica, okay? A lot of my people are Rastafari. They will self-medicate. They will bun their ganja and drink their Ray and nephews. They will bun down their ganja, all their problems away, and just ganja their problems away. In Jamaica, we use ganja. We say ganja instead. Y'all know what word I'm talking about. Instead of the, so I'm kind of 50-50 on that. However, let's bring it back to the health education. There's been recent research that has come out that the marijuana can induce psychosis. However, if the ganja is working for you, if the ganja calms down your anxiety, if the ganja allows you to open up your appetite, to eat, to feel good, to not stress, do what you do. However, comma, if you need that venlafaxine, go take it. If you need that Wellbutrin, go take it. If you need that hydroxyzine, go take it. I took mine last night. I slept like a baby. She told me open up, let me open up more. I took my hydroxyzine last night. I popped that pill. 15 minutes later, wait, I was gone. Wait. Black men, if you need the medication, take it. And do not be afraid to take it. And there's nothing wrong with you. And you gonna get through this. Thank you for asking me that question.
Yeah, I thought that was important because I know there are a lot of black men that do self medicate and they do it with alcohol as well as
Hmm.
cannabis. And to your point about the psychosis, I know a part of that is how it is manufactured now. It
Right.
is almost stripped of all of its medicinal properties and
Hmm.
is just created to be addictive at this point because it's become a
Right.
business. So I know that in of itself has greatly reduced the productive effects of THC as well as
Right.
CBD. As someone who was medically I have a medical license for cannabis for
Hmm.
anxiety, and I'm actually CBD certified, so I understand like all of
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
One thing I'm always careful of is that if you choose to do that, one, understand where you're getting it from, and
Right.
I knew my grower, so
Right.
I was like, I can trust this. But you
Hmm.
going into these stores are not always to be trusted for the
Mm-mm.
medicinal properties of it. Like, yeah, it
Right.
can get you there, but if you're using it for its medicinal properties, which it does have a lot of good medicinal properties, like at least now, like 8 times out of 10, it's almost always stripped. And so you're just getting this product that gives you this euphoria and can induce psychosis, but it doesn't help you to really think about things in a way that you need to. But it will tell you to say fuck it to everything, and then you still not dealing with what you need to deal with, which gives you back to you back at point A at that point. You just
Exactly.
doing stuff to do stuff. So thank you
Right.
for sharing that.
Right. This was a good segue into my next question. Holistic approach versus Western medicine. I'll let you lead that question. When should one consider a holistic approach versus a Western medicine approach? You kind of touched on it already, but what would you say?
I always say based off of the side effects because if the side effects are worse than your actual condition, then maybe not that.
Right.
But I am not adverse to Western medicine, because I know for the most part, Western medicine it's derived from plant properties. It is. That's how we got
Right.
medication. That's
Right.
the foundation of it, and you can do your own research to find out. But pretty much all medication is derived from plants. So, but it's just manufactured. So there are certain prescriptions. I was trying to figure out the right word to use before I get in trouble. There's certain prescriptions that can help you, so I do believe in that. But it also is everybody is different. So when it comes to side effects, not everybody will have the same side effects. So
Right.
again, working with your mental health practitioner to figure out what medications will work for you, and making sure you're having honest conversations, because that's the thing that doesn't work, is if you're not honest about like, hey, I'm having these side effects, or I'm experiencing this, and things like that. If you're not having that conversation, then they can't address it, and you do not want to stop. Whatever they put you on, don't just go cold turkey and go it off, because
Oh yeah,
you have
yeah.
no idea what's gonna happen, and that is
R-
not safe for you
It's
physically or mentally.
right. It's
So
called
make sure,
brain zap. That
yeah,
brain zap will have you ready to. What did her divine alchemy say earlier on? Go talk to her go meet her ancestors. If you start a mental health medication and you want to go cold turkey, that's the worst thing you could do. You would put your body, your mind into shock. You cannot do that.
yeah.
You cannot do that.
Yeah, and then also, if you're trying to add on something holistically, you need to understand the contraindicators of that as well. Because
Exactly.
when it comes to cannabis, when it comes to CBD, when it comes to other medicinal herbs, there are contraindicators that can impact your absorption rate of either the medicinal properties of the alternative medicine or your regular medicine, and they can battle, and they can cause liver damage, they can cause a bunch of damages. So it's important that you have this conversation too, because you want to be able, and again, going back to finding a practitioner that you can talk to about this, because you
Right.
don't want to be afraid of getting in trouble with the person that's supposed to help you, and you're not being honest about what it is that you want to do. There are a lot of
Exactly.
things that can impact that. So you need to be aware of that. So when people say, hey, if you're taking supplements, you need to let your doctor know, so they can understand, like, hey, that's not going to work with this, because that's going to affect this, that, and the other. Not everything goes together because you say it's a plant. That doesn't mean
Right.
that it mixes. Even certain plants don't go together because it just don't mix. So
Hello.
like, there's that, but a lot of people aren't aware of this. So you have to be able to have conversations with your mental health practitioner. And then this is something that we didn't talk about in this live, but we talked about it before, having
Hmm.
holistic medical support, meaning that you have a
Right.
mental health practitioners, you have your physical practitioners, like everybody
Hmm.
knows what's going on, so they can support you.
Hmm.
So if you have something going on with your heart and your liver, your mental health practitioner knows it, so they know certain medications you should not be put on, and they can't put you on. And then if there are any side effects, then your doctors holistically know what's going on with your body, so they can best support you. So you have to have a team that can support you, that you feel comfortable with, either them being able to talk to each other and to you, so that they can best support you. Because again, not everything mixes, and if you're not being honest and having these conversations, something detrimental could possibly happen to you.
Exactly. Exactly. Which is why I always tell you guys, healthcare is what? Healthcare is collaborative. Okay. Miss Crystal, I see you in the chat. Exactly. I see you, therapist. I see you, licensed professional counselor. I see you, Miss Crystal. Last question for us to wrap it up. It's about vulnerability. You and I were both vulnerable today. You and I were both, they would say we was dropping gems, but we were hosting a conversation that is important for our people to see, to witness, and to hear. Okay. Vulnerability and addressing the hesitation and showing it towards other black men. Mm.
There, while you're thinking about that,
Mm.
that
Yeah.
reminds me of, there is a Netflix show called Survival of the Thickest, and in
Hmm.
season two, the black male lead was talking to his other black male friends, and he was like, "Yeah, I think I need to go talk to somebody." And then his
Hmm.
friend was like, "Yeah, you should." He was like, "So you think I need a therapist?" He's like, "Nigga, I'm a therapist." He's like, "How long you been a therapist?" And then his other boy's like, "Yeah, nigga, we go to therapy. You don't go to therapy?" And it's like, he's like, "I know y'all for years and I don't know this." He was like, "Nigga, how do you not know I'm a full therapist? You came to my
Right.
graduation." So it's just like, yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
the conversations are not being had because I think there's a level of safety and vulnerability that is still not being had with even these inner circles of men together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What I would say to that is sometimes men would do or say certain things to show vulnerability towards other black men, but depending on their response, they would retract or they would no longer, try to do it to other black men, which leads me to say that shows you what certain black men are used to receiving love or receiving affirmations or used to hearing somebody tell you, I love you, or used to hearing somebody say, like, I do this in everybody's life. And no matter if you're a woman or a man, continue to show up, continue to be great. I'm showing you love. I'm dropping a quick affirmation to you to continue doing what you're doing. When you drop those gems or when you just share that type of vulnerability to somebody else and they, depending on how they respond, they're not,
No.
I'm gonna continue doing it though. Something you
Yeah.
could use. I see you something you could use. Continue to show up, continue to be great. Not everybody's ready to hear that. Not
No.
everybody's ready to receive that, her divine.
Not everybody's ready to receive. There was this guy who played a joke on his friends and called them and said, "Hey, I just called to tell you I love you." And his friends got
Yes.
mad. It was like,
Yes.
"Nigga, you gay?" And he's like, "I'm
Yes.
just telling you I love you. Like you my brother. I
Right.
love you." He's like, "Nigga,"
Right.
I'm like, they cussing him out. It was like, "Don't call me with that
Yes.
bullshit." And I'm just like,
Yes.
your friends are seriously unhealed and they need
I
therapy
saw it.
because you should not be getting this viscerally offended by someone
Right.
who you call a friend calling you and telling you that you love them. Like, what? Like I mean, their reaction, like the whole thing, like, yeah, it's supposed to be funny, haha,
Mm-hmm.
but when you actually think about it, it's like, wow, your parents did not love you. Nobody hugged you.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody told you that. Nobody said that they loved you on a regular basis. Like, that's sad
Mm-hmm.
because you are offended that. And then another one was that he said, if I bring a cake to your birthday, and they was like, what the hell you mean you bringing a cake to my birthday? Like, it's your birthday, I'm gonna bring you a birthday cake. Don't no grown man bring another grown man birthday cake. It's like, it is cake. Why are you just upset over? See, y'all ain't been
Blow
loved
out your
enough.
candles, blow out your candles, and keep it pushing. You
Like,
wasn't
only
loved
women
enough.
can bring you cake? That is insane. That is insane to me. Especially with most restaurants and bakeries being owned by men. What you mean you can't bring you a cake? You want a woman in the kitchen, but most restaurants are owned and run by men. I don't like it's a lot of things that's just not connected. And I'm just like, I don't understand how y'all are this viscerally upset with people that want to show you like you have not been loved on. You are showing the internet that you nobody loves you. That's what you're showing the internet. Nobody's loved you.
This has been nothing but great. Okay. Oh, Almas, I didn't
Absolutely.
even see you. Welcome on in. Toxic masculinity is danger to
So
society. It
dangerous.
definitely is. Habisha, the therapist, welcome on in. We were just having a collaborative conversation on some topics on men's mental health. Okay, we're wrapping up Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, Men's Mental Health, and Men's Health Awareness Month. So I wanted to host a conversation today with one of my friends who is I don't even know. I don't even want to give her this one word adjective, who is just an all around subject matter expert on so many topics. And she provided her knowledge to be a part of this conversation with me today. So that's what this was today. We have no professor tips. I just wanted to come on here, be vulnerable with you guys, share this space with a dear friend of mine for us to discuss an important topic in healthcare amongst black and brown people because we got to hear it. Okay, you guys.
And I want to
Her
ask you one
divine.
last question before we get
Sure,
up out of here.
sure.
How are you choosing to support black men in their mental health moving forward?
Mm. Look at what I'm doing. See what I'm doing. First and foremost, just part one. Look and see what I'm doing. Know that it can be done and strive to do three times as more. Number one. Number two, always know that Dr. Johnson is an active listener. Always approaching everything non-biased, no judgment, but most importantly, representation. If I could do it, you could do it too. Miss Crystal said it, leading by example, having these conversations, doing what I'm doing here, having these conversations with black women, having these conversations with young black boys, being a motivation, being an influence, being a positive motivation, being a positive influence, and all of that encompassed together can include your mental health overall too, but literally leading by example and continuing to show up and continuing to be great, not only for myself, but for those who are watching me out there. Wow, that's crazy.
It's important
But
though.
it is important. Before I go, I do want to share with you guys something. There was this guy, and I shared it when I shared this with Elle. There is this trend going around on TikTok, and it's about you post your graduation photo and you write on the photo and you say, "My children will never be able to. My children won't qualify for FAFSA. They're gonna have to choose that my parents, have a master's degree or higher." And I saw one of this from a black man. He's an army veteran. I put the praying hands and the 100 sign under his photo, right? I didn't realize that he was following me or had been following me for quite some time. He responded a couple hours after and he said, you know what? You don't know this, but there was a point where I felt like stopping or taking a break. And I came across your page, I came across your videos, and you gave me the motivation to continue. And now I'm doctor. I did not know he was following me. His page just popped up on my algorithm. So when I say lead by example, when I say continue to show up, you don't know who you're impacting. And when he started off by saying, "You don't know this," but there was a point where I wanted to stop, but you came across my page. Just little old me. My sister always said, "Don't say little old you because you're not the little one, you're the big one." But there's me, Dr. Johnson over here. Office hours with Dr. Johnson. So the influence is important, the impact is important, the vulnerability is important because there's many times when a lot of us didn't want to continue. I wanted to stop too. Her Divine, I know you wanted to stop at some points too, but
Hmm.
you continue to show up. You continue to be great. We gotta wrap this up. It's dinner time, okay? Her Divine
Yes, we do.
Alchemy, once again, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the work that you're doing. I appreciate you coming on here and always dropping gems and always being so vulnerable. I appreciate you so much, friend. You're the
Absolutely.
best.
Thank you for
You're
allowing me
the
to do
best.
this because I wanted to. I'm like, hey, the last Tuesday, I was like, oh, the last Tuesday of the month, let's wrap up Men's Mental Health Month. I was like, I'll support you. Like, what you need, I got you.
I love this. I love this. I appreciate you. Before I drop her down, can I have some round of applause in the chat? Yes, Abisha. It's so impactful. It is important. Becoming Beth, thank you so much for following. Thank you so much for supporting. Please stick around. Becoming Beth, I do this every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Office hours with Dr. Johnson. Thank you so much for connecting with me. I appreciate you. Miss Crystal, I see you. Thank you so much. Devin, we just wrapping up. It's dinner time. We wrapping this up. We gotta go. I gotta go eat. Her Divine gotta go eat. Something you could use. I see you. Thank you so much. I see the round of applause. Her Divine, once again, we're gonna talk on the back end. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. And then I just want to give a shout out to Wellness Woman. She will be on my live tomorrow, same
Okay.
time, 4 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to be talking about how to become a villain to aging unsupported. So this is a conversation around making sure that you
There
have
you
what you
go.
need to age, not gracefully, but age in a way that allows you to be this new version of yourself. So that's what we're talking about tomorrow. I'm quite sure she's probably gone because she was in here earlier, but it's going to be a good conversation tomorrow. So
I
join
love
me
that.
every
And I'll be
Wednesday at
there
4 p.m. So yeah,
every Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern
this
Eastern,
that
right?
specific time is 7 p.m.
Okay, so
Eastern time.
7 p.m. Eastern. I love that.
Yep,
Okay, me and Habisha, the therapist, will be there. Something you could use will be there, and Miss Crystal will be there. We'll be there to support you, Your Divine. Once again, thank you so much. We gonna speak
absolutely.
on the back end. Let me drop you down. Okay, have a
Thank you
great day.
again. You too.
No problem. We wrapping it up. Can I have some deuces in the chat? Can I have? Put this away. We wrapping it up, and because of Her Divine Alchemy, let's play her song that she did for me.
Yeah, big up the doctor in the place. Professor
Hey,
Johnson, hold
Jana,
it
I'm
down.
coming now. I'm
Yo,
coming now.
yo, yo.
I appreciate y'all
Big
too.
up,
I
big up
love
the
y'all
doctor
too. I
in the
appreciate y'all too.
place. true career roots and
I
you know
gotta
what
go.
to do. Prophecy the building educator true. Black health is a mission and it coming for you. Dr. Johnson,
Ooh,
raise it up,
oh,
raise it up.
oh.
Knowledge in